Hey bros, this is Bobo the Vulture, Hypercam's recording. Hypercam's recording Extreme Warfare Revenge, Volume 2. No, it's not Extreme Warfare, Volume 1. Or was it Volume 2? Either way, there was a video that ECW advertised just incessantly. Let's see, June 2020. Oh, it's almost my birthday. It's almost my future birthday. Right now we got a big old bunch of dudes and ladies all hanging out. Eyes versus Joe Clark, 3-3. Black Dragon versus Matt Classic. That gimmick has been built up superbly. Dysfunction versus Trent Baker. They want to keep developing that one. Mike's family would probably lose overness if they lost this feud at this stage, so let's let them win that. And Mercedes Martinez versus Bobcat. It's actually reaching a fever pitch despite the fact that they've only had one match win, and then there are just some other random types of events happening. Sherry Bob versus Erica Porter. Basically only barely started. I don't even know if Erica Porter has debuted yet. I'll have to look at the event history. Yes. Erica Porter asked for a match with Sherry Bob, and Sherry Bob beat her. There you go. So, that all said, let's, I'm just gonna refresh myself, basically. Ben Hickman, Ed Easter, and Wesley Finkel. We have some contracts coming to an end. I believe I already replaced those people, didn't I? Chris Jericho's coming to the end of his contract. Oh, well, let's hop on him. We could totally get him. Alright, next day. And the feuds. We should certainly have a segment in which Jarrell Clark attacks Onyx to send a message. We should maybe also have Black Dragon and Matt Classic is fine. Dysfunction and Trent Baker needs to be built up a little more. So let's put Trent Baker in a match where Dysfunction beats him up. Let's do that right here. Who should fight Dysfunction? Who is the Mythbuster? I mean, Kate's doll could do it. I mean, anyone could do it, I guess. Katsushi Takamura is not the worst idea for that. Man, Seth Knight is a good wrestler, huh? Let's have Trent Baker here fight Takamura. That seems like not a bad match. It's face versus face, so I guess that's unusual, but how else will we find out that, oh, these guys had amazing chemistry that we really should have been exploring? I want to explore your chemistry, guys. It's going to be a win for Trent Baker. Because there's going to be the run-in from dysfunction. There it is. DQ through interference, but he doesn't care. He's just out to punish. It is to continue their feud. There you go. And tonight, the main event. Let's see, over 61, over 43. Interesting. Let's put Seth Knight in a match with... Well, actually, let's see how Onyx and Seth Knight line up. Alright. Just in terms of statistics, Onyx has pretty much nothing to complain about. So let's see how those two do. Seth Knight versus Onyx. But didn't I already have them have a rivalry? No, although Seth Knight had a feud with Matt Classic. I bet both of those two would have good feuds with Cade Sedal. Anyways, no title on the line, obviously. This is going to be a win for Seth Knight. Onyx is going to be like this, is he? Fine, it's a win for Onyx. It's also going to be a DQ by interference because Jarrell Clark is going to run in. And it's going to be the same aftermath. Jarrell Clark continuing the assault. And this will be to continue their feud. Other than that, other than those, we have a lot of feuds going on here right now, but we don't really need to advance this one any further. We kind of want to keep these ones prodded. This one's ready to go anytime. This one, it's been built up enough. And these ones we're pretty much just building up in diva segments because the wrestlers involved are terrible. So actually, Mercedes Martinez, Bobcat, Sherry Boff, and Erica Porter. Let's take a look at them. Charisma of 73. Charisma of 58. Charisma of 70. Alright. And a charisma of 85. Well, there you go. So really, these two more talented in terms of their fighting prowess and their like charisma, ring prowess sort of thing. So interesting, all that. Let's have a match here that's a one-on-one match that's just a really good match. Let's get Cade Sedal and Matt Classic to have a nice matchup here. These two will blow the lid off the place. Let's give this one to Cade. Did it clean. Aftermath, there's going to be a handshake of respect. Because these guys are just out here to do too much good. See what else we could be doing here in terms of matches. Let's have Doc Dean just come in and do a jobber squash. Who would be the jobber? We don't actually have anybody that's really that low down on the totem pole anymore. Our guys are all just too over, other than some of our tag team talents. It's too good at building these guys up. Yeah, man, what do we do here? We could have a singles match between, let's see, Cedric Strong and Louis Moxley. I don't know that they've had a match yet. And the result in this instance will be Louis Moxley with the win. Louis Moxley gets it clean. And then there is a brawl to the back. How's that? That can continue their feud. Nice. Let's start with the angle of Eric Angle. No, it's Seth Knight. I want to make sure. It's going to announce the main event for tonight's show using authority styles. That is going to be Authority Books one-on-one tonight. Going to be Seth Knight versus Onyx. Done. Let's finish booking the segment. Let's have another authority angle going on here. Another appearance from Onyx. 1 versus 1 for the big show. And our participants will be Bobcat and Mercedes Martinez. Now let's make sure that we have Trent Baker and Dysfunction both have interviews here. So, interview, Single worker with manager. Miss Vanessa with Trent Baker. Talking about dysfunction. What makes dysfunction to you? What does dysfunction mean to you guys? It means a continuing feud. Alright, good insights. This is going to be old Phil Woods with the big D, dysfunction. And they're going to continue that feud. Hooray! Now, consider this feud is starting to heat up. Maybe Sherry Bopp and Erica Porter should have some sort of segments back here. Let's go back, let's exit. Let's actually make these two have interview segments. There you go. With Erica Porter. Aiming her attacks at Sherry Bopp. To continue their feud. Then we'll have an interview here. Single worker Sherry Bopp. Hey, gentlemen, she's a single worker. Right back at Erica Porter in order to continue that feud. Now then, what are the stats right now on Mercedes Martinez versus Bobcat? Mercedes Martinez is pulling off a lot of the big wins here. Diva angles. Two divas argue. Sure. Mercedes Martinez and Bobcat. They argue. They're involved in a hot feud. Surely people want to see them argue. Let's start this show. That's a pretty good segment, announcing tonight's main event. This ought to be a high quality match. And they swapped a little bit of overness here, Mac. I thought that might end up happening because they're paired in skill. They weren't paired in overness. So, hell, if it lines them up a little closer, they could have a nice feud with each other. Do some good business. Crowd wasn't too into it yet, but it was the first match of the night. Erica Porter gained overness from this. It wasn't the best interview segment, but she'll get better. The crowd will react to her better. That's the important thing. Alright, moving on. Phil Woods backstage with Dysfunction. That was an interview segment. And the Moxies and Strong fight. They didn't have the best match, but oh wow. Ms. Vanessa gets a 94% segment with Trent Baker. Sherry Bopp gained overness. 73% segment here, so that went pretty well considering she's a relative unknown for our company. People were digging it. They liked it, yeah. Trent Baker gained overness from this match involving Katsushi Takamura, so good for him. Bobcat and Mercedes Martinez both gained overness from this above par segment. And they both gained overness from the fact that Enigma came in immediately following that and said, "Oh, you guys are going to argue? Well, at the next show, we're going to see you two in combat." And Seth Knight versus Onyx. That's a good show. 70% overall show rating. Not bad. Gets it all. Matt Classic worked pretty well together. Matt Classic's losing morale. Cedric Strong's losing morale. Lots of people losing morale. Gets it all versus Matt Classic. Let's make a note of it. We'll put it up here. Including guys like Robert Thompson and Corey Castle. You know, big names we use all the time. Fast forward a couple of days until it is time for, what is this one called? Brawlscape? I don't even remember. Oh, Solstice. There you go. That kind of makes some sense. Whoa, big happening somewhere. SMWR fall to cult level. Brandon P. agreed to a contract. Danny Basham, the Big Machine. Johnny C. Well, there you go. Johnny C's working. Matty Hawaii, just incredible. They fired Bad News Allen, Jack Doan, Joey Santiago, Kevin Sheedy, Ben Pierce, and Emma Batch. Whoever all those people are. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. When we come back next time, we are going to have the pay-per-view. Let's see whether or not by building this one up, she wants the feud to keep going. I was pretty much ready for this one to burn off. Dysfunction versus Trent Baker. Let's see. Well, I guess Trent Baker's going to be around for another month or two if we wanted them to continue to fuss and feud at each other. Anyways, when we come back next time, it will be time for the Solstice pay-per-view event. I'm Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.